Welcome back to this one. So, we are discussing the recent conversation I saw between Michelle Obama and Shetty. And I think it's important to have conversations around these things because these two people understand a phenomenon that is important for majority to understand now. Up until this point, this was a problem for celebrities and for politicians. They are the people who are well known and they experience these things. But with social media, I'm sitting in my living room. My hair is the state in which it is. And that's the state in which my hair is on Sunday mornings when I'm pottering about the house trying to do some light touch cleaning. And I think this would be the case for most people touching up their cleaning in their house. The thing is that I'm also on this blue app and I'm going to share content right here. Yeah, I'm in my house. I'm very comfortable this way in my house, but I've turned the camera on and the world and their long mouth will see this. That's one. So the privacy you have in your home is no longer privacy when you put yourself out here like this. And I think many people make the decision to put themselves out here first before they have time to think through exactly what they have done. Okay. I would get this a lot in the early days. Fix your hair, fix your nose, fix your this, fix your that. Thankfully for me, at my age, I really don't care what you think. And in fact, I have no interest in fixing nothing. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt for it, didn't win me any favors, and so I'm no longer interested. And yet, Michelle was talking about the fact that she and Barack had lost their anonymity in their 40s. But in their 40s, they knew how to cope. I'm in that phase too now. And thinking back, yes, I do know how to cope. And that's why I probably can stay here and have this conversation with you, knowing that my face is puffed out, my nose is 3 times the size that most of you would like to see a nose, my mouth is puckered up. As for that one, that comes free to me, where most of you spend thousands of dollars to achieve it. Okay. At my age, you are able to make these associations and connections, and you can make jokes out of it like I am. A younger person may find the social pressure a little bit more difficult to deal with. And yes, previously, the people who dealt with these things would have had a team of people working for them and around them. And if you were lucky, one of the people or some of the people in that team would do work to help rehabilitate you to and reconcile you with the new reality that you found yourself in. But even that, you would see some celebrities in public and people would encroach on their space and they wouldn't know how to handle it. The paparazzi in particular have been very notorious for this. People are just minding their business in a little corner because everybody, as much as we think we are social people, also likes to have your little corner to yourself. So you're sitting, eating your food, and you want people to leave you alone to eat your food and to talk to your friends and to find people jump that barrier and to get in and be taking pictures of you when you are not. I don't think a lot of people, so I shared it with a friend of mine and we were talking about, and she says, ah, so I didn't realize that even when they had finished with a term, they had done 8 years in the White House, and it was time for them to go live quietly their obscure new life. But there is no obscure new life for you as the ex-president of the US. There is no obscure new life. Actually, where he's going off to go and live next had to be considered very carefully. It needs to be in an estate where your neighbors are a few hundreds of yards away from you, I'd imagine. You would need to have special security, and special security would have to stay with you for life even when you are done with your term. You cannot tie your headgear like I can and jump in your car to go to the local shop. But I love the ability to go out without a bra to my local shop, knowing that nobody knows me and that nobody cares, and that I can do that and come back and live my best life later on. When you have broken the barrier between you and the external, it is very difficult to go back. And in some cases, there is no going back. And it's something that you really need to consider, especially if you're a content creator. Yes, you sit in the privacy of your home, which should have given you anonymity, but by the decision to turn the camera on, you would be known. What is actually also now very funny is you could be minding your own business in town. I have a friend who was doing her thing in town. Somebody's camera captured her. And the next thing she knew, it had blown out on the internet. And people wanted to show that they knew her. So people were posting pictures and images. People would see her. It's a violation. It is a violation. And it's not necessarily because you choose, like me, to put this here. It could be like my friend, where you are minding your business and people force it onto you. And then everybody knows you. As a guy who was also famously dancing salsa. But there are many people who were doing their thing. And then somebody likes it or somebody hates it, somebody records it, posts it to the web, and boom! And depending on what it is you were doing, you would find people interested in asking questions about you, and people very willing to provide information about you. And very soon you feel, my friend was telling me, it feels like she thinks that it is the same level as being actually assaulted, because she has experienced both. She said when she was actually assaulted, she felt violated. She felt that somebody had broken a significant barrier, and the person had defiled her and ruined her and so on. It was disgusting. But when the social media thing happened, when she found her face plastered across everywhere, it was exactly the same magnitude as when she was actually assaulted. And I'm like, whew, I had never thought of it that way. But yeah, with fame comes a lot of pressure. With fame comes a weight that you must know before you seek it. See, a lot of famous people are alcoholics. A lot of famous people use substances, and it is mainly to deal with this particular thing, the loss of anonymity and what it does to you. The human mind is designed to have autonomy. The human mind thrives on being in control. The human mind does not enjoy being at other people's mercy. The human mind does not like the loss of autonomy. And so to feel like you need to have people around you to do things, that's the thoughts, and it will come later on. I was thinking about a driver. So a few years ago, I was driving in between Alin and Abu Dhabi. I got myself a driver. I couldn't cope with it for 6 weeks. Yes, it was very important that I could sit at the back of the car and chill and relax whilst the person drove me to school. But I couldn't do it. And after a while, I was back at the wheel, did it myself, could not explain to people what it was that I didn't like. Now I can tell you. The fact that every step of my day had to be shared with somebody else. That somebody else was privy to the things that I did. If I stopped for petrol, this person was there and needed to know. Right now, the way my life is perfect. If I stop, if I buy something for myself, I buy something for myself. If I go go somewhere. I'm married, so I may need to declare some of those things to my husband. But there are some things that don't even need to be declared to a husband. Like, I made a stop at a petrol station. I've not done anything that affects anything significant in our relationship, so it doesn't need to know. But I also would not like to have a driver know that much detail about me. It is illogical. When the driver knows that much about me, what does it change? But I'd rather he didn't. When you go down to eat pizza, you'd want to do so only as a subject of interest to the people in your immediate circle. And if you were an interest of other people outside that circle, you will feel violated again. I love Michelle because Michelle brings reality to a journey that most of us have not experienced this kind of frank reality on before. Most of the other celebrities and people we know have kept it quiet, and they just cope and manage. But it's lovely to have the lid lifted because, as I said, right now with social media, anybody could find yourself in the limelight for many different reasons. And to find yourself in the limelight will bring its struggles, whether you are ready or not. So it's nice to have the conversation for some people to think about how we're going to cope before we get in here. This is also gone past 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop. I will come back and we will continue.